Hey, hey, hey! So, I'm Miss Ideas, as you all know, and I'm the owner of Little Ideas with Love. I make scented soy wax products. So, yesterday I did a video, a question and answer video. So, today I'm going to just go through the questions. Just going to load my iPad up and I'm going to answer some of the questions that you asked. So let me just turn that on. So let's have a look. Let's see. So Connor asked, what made you want to start Little Ideas with Love? Now, I'm starting with this question because it is quite a long answer, and it'll give you more of an insight to why I started this, and then you'll have more of an understanding. So I was diagnosed with ulcerated colitis 1 year, and I'm just trying to think, maybe 6 years ago I think it was, and I was really ill. Once I was diagnosed, I lost 3 stone in the space of, it was in the space of months, a couple of months. And I was really poorly, and because I lost so much weight in that time, because I was so poorly and I'd just been diagnosed with the ulcerated colitis, it infected my gallbladder, because obviously the drastic weight loss, my body didn't know what was going on. So because of that, my gallbladder got infected and I was really ill with it. I actually ended up under 7 stone in weight. I was really ill. The doctors had me living on morphine for 3 weeks. I was in so much pain and I could barely eat, and then I had to have an operation to remove my gallbladder. So I had that removed, and then I seemed okay, and then a couple of months in I had to go back to the doctors, and then they said to me that I needed another little operation and that I would have to have, I got fibroids and polyps, so they needed to be removed. So I went back into hospital, had the operation, came out, and everything seemed to be fine, and that was in the October, and things just went a little bit wrong and my health started to go back downhill again, and they'd found that I got endometriosis, and the thing is, it was growing on the outer of my bowel, and because I've got ulcerated colitis, it was quite dangerous that they couldn't just remove the endometriosis, because if they damaged my bowel, it could mean that I could end up having a stoma bag, because if they punctured my bowel, then that would be game over. So they decided there and then that I would have to have a full hysterectomy. So I ended up being off work for a long time. I worked in a behaviour unit with primary school children, and it was, don't get me wrong, I loved my job, but it was really tough. And I also encountered quite a few problems working in that school, not with the children but with staff members, and being bullied. But I can talk about that again in another video if you want to talk about bullying in the workplace, because it's not nice. So I was off work and I was booked in to have a full hysterectomy in the January. So I was told that because I was so ill that it was quite a dangerous operation and it was major surgery, and they did ask me if I wanted to stay awake for it, which I didn't. So my recovery was really bad because my health dropped so much, and it took me a lot longer to recover from it, a lot longer than what a normal hysterectomy would be, because it was my 3rd operation in 10 months, so it was a lot to put on my body, and my body was very weak. So whilst I was recovering, my partner Richard, he said, like, he didn't think going back to that job would be ideal because it was so strenuous, and I was weak because I didn't have the energy anymore. I still obviously suffer with my ulcerative colitis, but not as much as what I did. So at the time I had bought some wax from another place and they were good, but then when I bought them again, they didn't seem that good. So I thought I'll have a little play around. So I did some testing and work on them, and then I gave some to my friends. And once I gave them to my friends, they said, you need to start up a business making and selling these. So that's what I did. I started up making the wax, and people came, and then people came back to me, so I started getting returning customers. And then in the May, I started off as Little Melts with Love, which I have a Facebook group for, and I still have that Facebook group now. But then I created Little Ideas with Love, and opened a business page on Facebook and on Instagram, and my website was launched, and things just progressed, and I've never looked back. I love what I do. I always say everything happens for a reason, and yes, I was really poorly, but I do believe it happened for a reason for me to start this business up, because not only has it helped me being at home with my children, it's helped me with my health, because yes, it can be stressful at times running your own business, but I don't have the stress of what I had working in a behaviour unit with primary school children. I don't have the stress of all the paperwork of the school that I had to do. There was a lot of stress taken off me as soon as I did this. And then we did move house, and we moved more into the country, and then again it helped with my health because my mood was so relaxed and I was relaxed, and it just helped in general. So that is just a tiny bit of the reason why I started my business. So that was Connor's question answered, and I'm also going to answer Zena Mack, who's asked, how do you come up with the inspirations for your wonderful fragrances? Now, if you're new to me, some of you won't realise the names that I give my wax, but some names I just keep the normal name, but some I like to change. One of my changes, I used to do a male aftershave fragrance, and it was beautiful. And one day it went a little bit quiet that people didn't buy it, so I thought, do you know what, I'm going to change its name. And I changed its name to Hide Him in the Wardrobe, because when you melt this fragrance and I close my eyes, I visioned that if Richard came home and smelt that smell, he'd think, has she had a man in this house? Because it smelled that good, and it smelled just like aftershave, that I like visioned that he'd think, oh my God, has she got a man in the wardrobe? So that's where I came up with my name for that, Hide Him in the Wardrobe, because I thought it would be quite funny, a little bit jokey, and my customers love it. I sell a lot of it, it's one of my good sellers, and everybody always comments on the name for that. So when I do pick a name, rather than just have like the name Orange, even though it's orange fragrance, I'm not saying on this one that I am going to change the name, but I would think of something that I could just add a little bit something to it, just to give it a little bit of a different name. So like I have Crazy Rhubarb, and obviously it's a rhubarb fragrance, and it's got a few other little fragrances in there. So I thought, and I thought, do you know what? It sounds a little bit crazy, this mix that's in this fragrance. So I'm going to name it Crazy Rhubarb. So I always look at the original name and see what's in it, and just vision what I think would suit that name. Like I say, I don't change every single fragrance name, but if you see something like Let's Get Flirty, obviously Hide Him in the Wardrobe, Crazy Rhubarb, Miss Lissy, you know, I do switch them about a bit. I just like to be a little bit different. and my customers love it. They love my choice of names when I give a fragrance. Also, Sophie Howard, she's asked what type of wax do I use. I use soy wax. I've always used this type of wax. It's natural and it gives off a nice clean burn in your house, so that there's no toxins, there's no, when you use paraffin wax you can get black marks on your walls and things like that, and it's more natural, the soy, so I always use soy wax, never ever any other type of wax. Nicola's asked, how long does your wax last for before having to change it in a burner? That is a little bit harder to answer because each fragrance is so different. So you might have one fragrance that's subtle that you won't get as long out of, but you might have one that's really strong that you'll get a lot longer out of. So a subtle one and a really strong one, you could get out the subtle one like if you was just like melting, say, a quarter of a pod, you could get something like 8 hours out of that on a subtle one, but on a strong one you could get 16 plus. So it's hard to say because each fragrance is so different and the strength is so different, but I do say on average, if you use the pots correctly and you cut them into quarters, you'll get over 25 hours plus melt time from them. But as long as you don't put the whole pod in, because that will just burn off the fragrance quicker. And Helen has asked, can you tell me what's better, a tea light burner or electric burner? Well, it's personal choice, and a tea light warmer, because it's a naked flame and it's your tea light going underneath, obviously gets hotter, so the scent throws a lot more. But the electric burners that I sell are for wax, so they are made for wax only, as well as the tea light warmers as well. So the scent throw on those is still good, but they'll never heat up the same as what a naked flame will, but they do heat up really well. I have tried a few on the market of different brands, and some are good, some are a little bit poor, but I use the majority of electric in my house because it means I can switch them on and just know that they're safe in the house. Whereas if it's a tea light warmer, I always advise never leave it unattended in a room that you're not in, because it has got a naked flame. But you will find that the scent throw on the tea light warmer is a little bit higher than the electric. So I have managed to answer everybody's questions. I wasn't sure if I've managed to, but I have. If you have any more questions, please pop in the comments, and please give me some feedback on this video that I've done as well, because I really love the feedback. I want to try and bring a few different things to you a couple of times a week. I won't be doing videos every single day, but I'm trying to bring a few little things to you. You can also click on my link as well, which you'll see that's on my account, and be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss my future videos. And I think you can get notifications to let you know when I do post a video. I hope everybody has the most amazing sparkly day, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye.